Morning, Jason, part-time farmer. Today we are going to do some chores and I want to talk about 3 ways to help you boost your sales and by default boost your profits on your farm. You may already be selling some products on your farm. These are 3 ways that you can take those products you're already selling and possibly boost your sales with those. These are things that we have found work great on our farm, keep customers coming back, and I think you'll find it useful on your farm. While we're doing that, I've got some chores this morning. We've got to get the cattle some hay. I've got a couple orders to put together over at the barn behind me here. I need to bring up a few hay bales from the bottom for our horses. And then I've got a couple pastures for my neighbors I need to cut, and might have a quick discussion, something about that I've been wanting to run by the community and get your thoughts on. All right, let's go get these cattle some hay, and we'll talk about the first way to grow sales on your farm. Real quick, we have a newsletter, the Sunday Solopreneur. This comes out every Sunday about 10 a.m. I talk about how to market your products on your farm, how to use social media and websites to grow your farm. I also talk about farming, raising cattle, chickens, pigs. We go through it all, and it's about building your farm business. Sign up now, and you'll also get a free PDF on how to use ChatGPT to write your social media, to write your newsletters, and to help write product descriptions for your products. This is free download for signing up for the newsletter. One newsletter every 1 to 2 weeks, no spam, I promise. Check it out. I think you'll get a lot of value in learning to grow your farm or homestead, and it's free. All right, back to the video. Morning, moo cows. All right, we've got our bale hooked up on our Greg Judy bale unroller. I've talked about that a few times in a few videos. And now we're gonna go feed the cattle. Give you a look here. I've still got a few bales I need to get up off the pasture, so we're going through those. And then up above me, you can see some bales here. And then this whole fence line here is probably about 100, maybe 125 bales down through there. And so this is what we got for the year. We would normally do our cattle down here, but this right here is the river, you can see. So we're right here on the river, and it gets super boggy. Any kind of land holds water during the winter. The ground just gets hard, saturation. So for that reason, we have to move our cattle and stuff up. And I'm a little late this year getting my hay from down here up top. So we're going through that a little slowly. Over the next week, I'll be picking a few days just to load all this hay onto a hay wagon and get it all up top, and may show you how we do that. So we're talking about in this video how to boost your sales. So if you're already selling products on farm, you may be doing that through a website, you may be doing that through a farmer's market, and there's a lot of things you can do to increase sales as you're doing it. One is bundle packaging. Bundle packaging is simply taking a bunch of products, putting them together in one package and selling it as a bundle, usually for a small discount. We do 10% off of our bundle packages. You can do these many different ways. We raise beef, pork, chicken, we have turkey now, and then we also do eggs. And we put together bundle packs that some are in the same, like a beef bundle pack, grass-fed beef lovers pack, grass-fed beef box. There's a number of packages you can put together, and one package may include like 2 steaks, a couple pounds of ground beef, and maybe a roast. And then you put all that together, give it a name, and then give it 10% off. 5% off, whatever works for your farm. You don't even have to give percent off. You can be, if you buy this bundle, you get a free pound of ground beef. There's a lot of different ways to do it. If you're selling multiple products, you can also mix and match those products. We've done a pasture-raised grill box, which is essentially they'll get pork chops, they will get brats, they'll get steaks, they'll get a pound of ground beef, and these are all items that can be cooked on the grill. So it would appeal to, somebody going on vacation, maybe going camping. And then also the 5 to 10% off. Yeah, you lose a tiny bit by bundling these, but you also gain because you may have not gotten that sale to begin with. Also, you're moving a lot of product at once. It's kind of the theory behind wholesale. If you're selling to restaurants or stores, that's typically 30 to 40% off, and that's because they're buying consistently, but they're also buying in big bulks, which save you a lot of time not having to sell that big amount somewhere else or in individual cuts. That requires a lot of labor, so that they get a discount for buying in bulk. People love a sale, so it's great to advertise if you're doing a newsletter, a banner on your website, a sign at the farmer's market. Just something to think about with your farm. Think about what products you're selling and how you can bundle those up. Give it a unique name, give it a funny name, give it just something that's going to get attention, but also be appealing to your customer. Again, it's what I try to do in these videos is provide value. And as a farmer, we're trying to provide value to our customers. And part of that is obviously the way we farm, grass-fed, pasture-raised, regenerative. a number of things that help the land produce good food, but also just making the food that they're buying appealing by offering sales, offering packages that suit their needs and make it simple for them, which is another thing I'll get to here shortly. So something to think about, just bundle packages. Think about what you're doing on your farm, how you can put them together into bundles, create it as a separate product. I think you'll see your sales grow from that. All right, let's go feed these cows and we'll talk about the second thing you can do to boost sales on your farm. All right, you can see behind me here, I'm in the same pasture. The cattle are back there eating hay. We've got still our mobile range coops. I did a video on those up here. You can check that out. It's a 3-part series on how we built these 12 by 24 structures. We've got 2 of them that we used this past year to raise our turkeys and our chickens. So just something to check out if you're interested in pasture poultry, pasture turkeys. All right, and that brings me to sales tip number 2. And this one sounds like kind of a no-brainer, but it really is a big deal, is make it easy for your customers. I say that because in this day and age, you have Amazon, you have DoorDash, people literally get on their phones, click a button, and things are brought to them. While it's not feasible for a lot of us as small farms to be that technologically advanced, there are a lot of things we can do to make it easier for our customers. I have seen websites that you go to and they'll advertise products, but then it's click here for pricing, and you click there and then it's a spreadsheet, and then they may ask you to email them with the items that you want, and then you will email them back with a price, and then there's even no way to pay yet. And that just gets confusing. And while some customers may do that, a lot of customers are just gonna stop. They're gonna go somewhere else. The just attention spans are short. People want fast, they want simple, and they want easy. So it's up to us as farmers to figure out ways how we can make it easy for customers to get our products. That brings me to something we're doing called homegrown hosting, where we offer all-in-one websites. This is email, this is your website, and this is your farm store all in one. We design the site for you, and the site is designed based on what gets people to click, what gets people to go to where you want them to, and it's an all-in-one solution for small farms. Essentially, my goal is to help you sell more product from your farm. My vision is to see small farms thriving just like stores. But to do that, you got to make it easy for your customers, and homegrown hosting is a solution for that. So there's a link down below, check it out, and feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. The website is central to making it easy for your customers. Of course, you can go to a farmer's market, but there is a lot of time, there's a lot of labor, there's a lot of equipment, coolers, tents, stuff, tablecloths, cash boxes, everything just that you need for a farmer's market. And we have found over the years that we have our products priced at a premium price, but that covers the cost of the animals, it covers processing, it covers packaging, it covers trips to and from the processor, it covers cold storage, electricity, but it really doesn't cover the time we're spending standing around at a farmer's market. We're typically there for about 4 hours a day. I value my time at around $40 to $50 an hour. So you're already $200 in as far as cost.
just paying you yourself or labor to go to a market and be able to sell. Now you may be able to get someone to do it for cheaper. Even so, let's just say $20 an hour. You're still looking at, that's $80 a day times, for simplicity, we'll say 20 markets, that's $1,600. And then that's just the time you're at the market. There's typically a couple hours on the front end and a couple hours on the back end of driving to and from the market. On the front end, you've got packing stuff for the market, getting everything in coolers, getting all those coolers loaded up, getting all your equipment loaded up. And on the back end, you have driving back from the market, you have unpacking, you have inventorying, there's likely some computer work you need to do. Whatever farmer's market you're working with usually wants to know your numbers. So website is central to being a successful small farm. It's your place to tell your story. It's your place to show your farm store and the products that you have. And with number 2 here, making it simple, it's where customers can buy online and either come pick up the product or have the product sent to them. Now, I've talked to you about homegrown hosting. There's a number of services out there that do this. Main thing is just do your research and look into how a website can fit into your farm plan of selling your products. I promise you, getting a website up will get your name out there. It'll allow you to get your story out there, and it's almost like an employee that's working 24 hours, 7 days a week for you, telling your story, making your products available, and helping you to grow as a farm. So make it simple for your customers, and more sales and more profits will follow. All right, we've got the cattle hay. We're gonna head up now and just see if anyone's picked up their orders. I already packed a couple of the orders earlier, so I just wanna check. I always go do a double check, make sure my freezers are good, make sure my fridge is closed outside where people come and pick up. And then we'll talk about number 3 of how you can increase sales and boost profits on your farm. All right. All right, guys, before we get to the third thing, you see behind me here, pasture. This is my neighbor's property across the street, and I cut this for him. You can see this is fairly tall, and I do this because he also has another plot of land away from here on the other side of the road that we use for hay. Part of my dilemma is this is great pasture. I mean, the grass is amazing. It's a lot of fescue, but it's got some clover in it. The problem is this hill right here behind me is a crop field. They do soy and corn every year. These parts that I'm cutting are actual ravines that the big crop equipment can't really plan on, can't do anything with, so they don't use it. So it's probably about 10 acres in total between the croplands that I cut. I had thought about using this for hay, but my question is, would you use it because of the fact that crops are on these hills? They do spray, obviously. If you've seen any crop field, soy, corn, they're spraying every year. You'll see when they do it because it's a huge yellow area. You can easily tell that it's been sprayed. They do cover crop it during the winter with red clover, but during the spring they come through and then spray all that. I had thought about using this for hay, but that's really become a concern to me, and right now we don't use it for hay. I just strictly cut it. I keep it cut for him, and in return, across the road, I get to cut pastures over there that have no crops. They're not near the crops. But would you use this for hay? My thought was essentially no, because of runoff, different things, but also if you see these chemicals hit these plants up on top where they kill, within a day or two, everything's yellow. It kills it immediately. This doesn't get killed and this doesn't die. So is the chemical hitting it? It's a question I haven't figured out yet. Right now, we're not using it and have no plans to use it. That said, right now, like I say, I just cut it. He lets me get hay in another area, and that's kind of the trade-off is I keep this clean, around their crop areas for them, and then I get hay off of the other area. So let me know your thoughts. Are you in any situation like this? Are you getting hay near any areas that they're spraying or that there's large, monoculture crops? Let me know. Let me know your experience with that. Let me know what you would do in this scenario, and I appreciate your input. All right, number 3 on how to increase sales and by default increase profits on your farm. And that is getting the word out there. Again, sounds like common sense, sounds like, okay, get the word out there, but it's something that actually takes some work to do, takes some knowledge to know how to do it effectively, and also knowing what the tools are to actually do that. Of course, there's Facebook, Instagram, social media. I don't know about you, but if you put up a post saying, hey, I have grass-fed beef for sale, even if it's half off today, you look and see how many people that reaches that's following you. It's not many, because those platforms are designed that if there's anything to do with selling, advertising, they're not going to put it out there unless you pay to boost that post. That is their revenue model. That's how they make money. Obviously, collecting your data and selling, it's one way, but the other way is businesses paying for customers. You'll probably see if you post an ad, sometimes they'll give you the option, hey, boost this post for 1 week for $14 or something. That's it. So that is not a good way to get the word out there. Again, it can help, but I tend to use social media to not post anything about selling because that's automatically going to trigger their algorithms to not promote your post. I try to do farm stories. I try to do engaging things that we're doing on the farm, things about animals that have nothing to do with selling, but hopefully get people interested. And then they're going to come. My website is linked on there in my bio. They're going to come to the website, and that's where the selling happens. Social media, not a great way to sell. 2, word of mouth. Again, you can get the word out there, and that's a great way organically if you can get that to happen. Again, you usually have to do something, have a farm event. You have to get people out there. You have to get people talking. That's not a guaranteed way. Sometimes it happens, and if you can get it to happen, that's great. Go for it. And I definitely encourage it, but it's not the most efficient way. And that brings me to, well, what is the most efficient way? And that is an email newsletter. Again, this comes into having a website, but a newsletter is a way that at farmers markets, you can have an email capture, have a clipboard down there where people can sign up, and you will get signups. You can have on your website a pop-ups, and I know pop-ups can be annoying, but they work great. And if you do it in a subtle way, they're not annoying. What's annoying is you go to a website and 1 second in, this big thing pops up in your face with noise and covers everything. You can't find the X to click out. That's annoying. People hate those. The pop-ups like we use on our website are small. They come in from the bottom and don't cover the whole page. They're very subtle. And they also typically don't come in for around 5 to 10 seconds. So the visitors there, they get to actually look at the website a little bit. It's not right in their face. These are effective pop-ups and they work. They work great. They're not super intrusive. So this is another great way to capture emails for your farm list. The third, again, is social media. Don't try to sell stuff, but you can push people to an email sign up. Push people in your bio. You can have a set of links. It's usually one link. We use Canva will do this. If you use Canva, you basically can set up a landing page and you put all these links like to your farm, to your social media, to your newsletter, and you can put one link bio on Instagram. That's what you put. They click that link and then it brings them to a nice page that then has all these other links. And that's another good way to get people to your email list, to get people to your website. A newsletter, that's the best way because these are people that have voluntarily opted in to follow what you do. They like what you're selling. They're interested in your story, and they have made the effort to actually receive news from you. So you have a much better chance of them buying stuff from you. You have a much better chance of them being engaged with what you're doing. So email list is the main thing that you can do to get the word out there. The other benefit to an email list is it's yours. The social media platforms, they have algorithms, and those rules change daily, monthly, and you don't know that those rules change. You'll see posts about, oh, I was getting 200 views and now I'm getting none. And that's just because the rules change. And with an email newsletter, you make the rules. Those are your newsletters you send to your subscribers, and you're in control of all that. It's an asset almost to your business that you can sell that newsletter if you ever get huge and big. A lot of businesses that get sold, that's one of the big assets that the buyer is looking for is, if they're into plumbing and they want a lot more plumbing customers, they're going to buy this plumbing business, one, because it's a business, there's assets in it, but they're going to buy because there's a 1,000 page email list. That's 1,000 customers that are interested in plumbing, that want the services. And by getting that list, you've got people that have given you permission to contact them about the service you're providing. So that's it, an email list. Most websites will offer this. We use ConvertKit for our email. I've got a link down below. It's free, under 1,000 subscribers, so it costs you nothing. It gives you a free landing page, which is a page that gives you an address that you can give to people. They can go to that address and then sign up. You can also put your message on that page. Website is the best way, but ConvertKit is a great way if you don't have a website, don't want to spend the money on that yet. Just start with a landing page. It's free. You sign up people, and then when you do get a website, you've got a lot of people that you can integrate in to that website, meaning you can integrate ConvertKit into your website as part of your website for capturing emails. Not only that, but you have these people now, and you can let them know, hey, I'm selling this, I've got that. And that's how you grow sales and boost your profits. So I hope you found this helpful. Again, we've been doing this for 8 years with Long Bottom Farm, and this is the 3 main things that I have found to help increase sales. There's many of other ways to do it too. You can pay for advertising, you can do billboards, radio, flyers work great, events, hold events on your farm, be interviewed for a podcast. There's a number of different ways of getting your story out there, but these are the 3 easiest and simplest that I've found that are really central to growing your farm. You can do all the other stuff as well, but I feel you need to be doing these 3 if you're going to grow your sales, grow your profits, and be successful at farming. All right, if you want to know more about an easy way that we do on-farm sales on our farm that requires us to not be present, check out this video here.